The subway car was already packed, bodies pressed together. The air heavy with the smell of metal, perfume, and long workdays. Adam stood near the door, one hand gripping the pole, the other holding his young son close against his chest as the train rattled through the tunnel. Mornings were always like this, loud, rushed, unforgiving. He kept his eyes down, not out of shame but out of habit. Being a single dad had taught him to move quietly through the world, to take up as little space as possible. He was focused on counting stops, on making sure he reached daycare on time before heading to his delivery job, when a sharp cry cut through the noise of the train. At first, people thought it was just another argument, another stressful moment in a city full of them. Then the cry came again, this time edged with pain that silenced the chatter. A woman near the center of the car doubled over, gripping the pole with white knuckles, her breathing shallow and rapid. Panic rippled outward as passengers stepped back, unsure, unwilling. Someone yelled for help. Another cursed about delays. The train screeched to a halt between stations, lights flickering as if the city itself hesitated. Adam felt it before he thought it. The tension in the woman's body. The rhythm of her breath, it triggered something buried but not forgotten. Years ago, before life rearranged his plans, Adam had trained as an emergency responder. He'd stepped away when his wife died and responsibility narrowed into one small boy and survival. He hadn't delivered a baby since training simulations. But instinct rose where doubt tried to form. He handed his son to a startled passenger. "Please," he said, voice calm despite the pounding in his chest. "Just hold him." He pushed through the small crowd and knelt beside the woman. Her eyes found his, wild with fear. "I think," she gasped. "The baby. You're in labor," Adam said gently, already checking, already knowing. "And it's happening now." Someone laughed nervously, saying that couldn't be possible. Adam ignored them. He asked for clean cloths, for someone to call emergency services, for space. Slowly, miraculously, people listened. The subway car transformed from a place of indifference into a fragile circle of attention. The woman cried out as another contraction hit, gripping Adam's sleeve as if it were an anchor. Between stops, beneath flickering lights, the city roaring unseen around them, Adam talked her through it. He reminded her to breathe, to focus, to trust her body. His hands moved with careful precision, guided by training and a deep, aching empathy. When the baby came, it came fast, one final cry, then a life slipping into his hands, warm and impossibly small. The car went silent, then erupted in stunned gasps as the newborn let out a sharp, defiant wail. Adam wrapped the baby securely, checking quickly, professionally. Relief flooded him so suddenly it left him dizzy. The mother sobbed, laughter and tears tangled together as she reached for her child. "You did it," Adam said softly. "You were incredible." By the time the train pulled into the next station, paramedics were waiting. The mother was lifted carefully onto a stretcher, still holding her baby, eyes never leaving the tiny face. Before they took her away, she grabbed Adam's hand. "Thank you," she whispered. "I don't even know your name." "Adam," he said. "I'm glad you're okay." He retrieved his son, who stared at him with wide, serious eyes, as if sensing something important had happened. The day continued. Late daycare, missed deliveries, apologies to a boss who barely listened. Life didn't pause to applaud small miracles. 2 days later, Adam was called into an office he'd never seen before. Glass walls and polished floors far removed from his usual roots. He almost turned around, certain a mistake had been made. Then the door opened, and the woman from the subway stepped inside, her posture steadier now, her baby sleeping peacefully against her chest. She smiled when she saw him. "I hoped it was you." The man who followed her was unmistakable. His face had appeared on news screens, business magazines, billboards towering over highways. The CEO of one of the city's most powerful companies. Adam froze, confusion washing over him. "My wife told me what you did," the CEO said, his voice thick with something that wasn't authority. "She told me how calm you were, How you saved them. Adam tried to explain that anyone with training would have done the same, that he was just in the right place at the right time. The CEO shook his head. Most people looked away, he said. You didn't. The conversation that followed felt unreal. Questions about Adam's work, his past training, his son. When they asked what he needed, Adam started to refuse out of pride, out of habit. But then he thought of daycare costs, of the quiet fear that came with every unexpected bill. He answered honestly. In the weeks that followed, Adam's life shifted in ways that felt almost impossible. Better work hours, training opportunities, stability that allowed him to be home for bedtime stories and early mornings. It wasn't charity. It was recognition. The kind that arrives too rarely, but changes everything when it does. Months later, Adam stood on the same subway platform, holding his son's hand, watching people rush past just as they always had. The city hadn't changed, but he had. Somewhere beneath its noise and hurry, a single moment of courage and compassion had connected lives that might never have met, and in doing so, had rewritten a future that once felt painfully small. Please like, share, and subscribe. Lover ASCII, we share stories the world need to feel again.